We have been told our whole lives that wrinkle creams were the easiest way to look younger, but there's one doctor out there who says that is old news. Dr. John Lakey, the well-renowned Beverly Hills beauty expert, he says that most wrinkle fixes on the market are nothing but glorified moisturizers. They hardly make a dent on your appearance, and some can even be harmful to your skin, he said. Dr. Lakey has focused his attention away from mainstream cosmetic procedures so that he can pursue a revolutionary anti-aging breakthrough. One that some experts say could empty the wallets of the cosmetic industry. It's almost like Photoshop for your face. You may even be mad after seeing how easy it is to visibly erase your wrinkles from view, Lakey told reporters. His personal clients have dubbed this new do-it-yourself technique the age rewinder method. Because it can take years or even decades off of your appearance in under 2 minutes. In light of this amazing breakthrough, Dr. Lakey has released a step-by-step video to the public, free and uninterrupted, where he outlines exactly how to use this simple solution from home. If this helps even one person look younger or feel more confident, I'll be thrilled knowing I helped, Lakey commented. This video has since gone viral. At first, it was shared by users on Facebook, but since then it has racked up over 2,300,000 views and counting. So far, the comments and feedback have been outstanding. Thousands of women are reporting they look decades younger. One viewer even commented, "Best results of anything I've used. I can't believe how well this works. I'll never stop using this. I don't understand how it works, but the results are great. Thank you." So you can find out more about this yourself right now. Go to bhmd1.com/speaks or click on the link in the description box below. That's bhmd1.com/speaks. There is one thing Dr. Lakey asks from his viewers. If watching this video helps you look and feel younger than you have in years, then please share this video with your friends and loved ones. Together, we have the power to help as many women reclaim a youthful look as possible. Go watch the video at bhmd1.com/speaks right now, or you can just click in the link in the description box below. Camille is that person who reminds you constantly of what she's been through and expects to be treated as a freshly wounded woman, like it just happened. But, honey, you're talking about things that we've actually addressed, apologized for, and dealt with. What are you doing? This is what she does. She couldn't do it last season because she came into that weed dinner and Denise took the cake. However, I wouldn't be surprised if there was uncut or unseen footage of Camille trying to make a moment, because when she does come into film, she comes in looking for a moment, and it's usually with Dorit, because I do think that Camille lives in the comment section and pays attention to what the audience is thinking and saying, and she's tweeting and trying to stay relevant. So she comes in looking for a moment, engaging off of what's happening with the fan feedback. And so Dorit's an easy target. Let's face it. But I'm sorry. I was here for Dorit, calling her all the names. I don't care. Camille, you look unhinged when you start bringing something up. Bose is on the cast, honey. Camille, you're here for a day. So when she interrupted Bose to be like, "I'm so sorry to interrupt you. What you don't realize is me, who you've never met before until literally right now. Dorit was mean to me." Okay. What? So we'll get into that. Okay. Before I get into it, though, make sure you are subscribed to the show and turn on notifications so you don't miss an episode. And if you're watching on YouTube, like this video, leave a little comment below, say hi. And all right, let's do it. We get a little glimpse into Jennifer Tilly's home, is a home with an S because she owns multiple. Now, I know that this is probably not going to have a lot of crossover with the fan base, but I went through a phase of being really into Texas Hold'em, like World Series of Poker, World Poker Tour. I know, random. I'm horrible at playing Hold'em. Hilariously bad. But I loved watching it. That's how I knew Vince, right? Eileen's husband. Remember Eileen? Let's have Eileen come back. I he did, was it World Poker Tour? He does one of the two, and he was so funny. His commentary was so funny. But vaguely remember Jennifer Tilly at the tables. I do recall that. But her boyfriend, Phil Locke, who they've been together since 2004, I didn't realize. He was wild. Phil Locke was known for being a total wild child. And that just really opened my eyes to who Jennifer Tilly is even more. And being a professional poker player is very interesting. Very, very interesting. But Phil Locke he was a funny, funny guy. He wasn't a bad guy at all, but he was just like a kooky man. Anywho, but her home that we're seeing is like her party pad. And in the after show, Jennifer talks about how Phil and Jennifer, they live in like the smaller house, but they like it. And the way she describes the way they live, I was like, oh, I never want to go over to your house. Oh, she's like, we live with like crumpled up paper on the floor and expired prescriptions in the medicine cabinet. I'm like, oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to go over there. And then she stages at her party pad. She stages Tiffany with the wine glass with liquor in it, with like some sort of liquid in it, at least. Kyle walks in. She's like, wow, your place is so beautiful. I'm like, you don't mean that. You don't mean that at all. Kyle and Sutton both go over. Kyle's thing is she's hosting the diamonds and denim party, but without Mo. Big deal. I think Sutton's being a little dramatic with the Erica stage whispering something to Kyle during that conversation. Because as much as I hate saying Erica has a point, she has a point when it comes to Sutton. Why didn't you A, call me out at the table, or B, say what you were thinking too then? I don't understand why it feels like both Garcel and Sutton are trying to play producer with this whole say it to the group thing, right? It feels like that's got to be the only real reason they're on this crusade of like, everybody say what you want to say to everyone. And like, is this for it feels like it's for the cameras. And it's fair. It's a fair point. This is something that we struggle with on Beverly Hills. That's just like, get the whole group involved, and have more than one storyline going on. But it feels a little forced. It feels like we're kind of picking at nothing. But I think that's because this cast is a cast of women who are not friends and who have not figured out how to. Well, I guess Erica's come kind of further, I would say, maybe than Dorit in terms of Garcel and Sutton. I can't believe we'll get to Erica, but I really can't believe I'm saying that Erica seems to be the only one, to me at least, who understands that there's an entertainment factor to this show. I'm talking about like Sutton, I'm talking about Garcel. It seems like everyone's really playing producer to a degree. And I think that I'm also noticing Sutton is very aware of what the audience is saying in terms of especially popular opinions. And while that hasn't necessarily been a bad thing, in my opinion, I don't think, because a lot of the time she's been sort of our voice during filming, like with Erica. I do feel like what's happening here is she's almost regurgitating old lines that she's been able to use this whole time. And they don't necessarily apply right now. I'm gonna put a pin in that. We'll get to more. This Sutton and Avi, this was cute. Sutton and Avi help Garcel bring some things to her beach house. I didn't realize that she's not been in it at all. It's been under construction for 3 years. Damn, that's a long time. 3 years. But I can only imagine like the permitting and shit. Oh God. But this house is in Oxnard. I'm glad that she's calling it Oxnard and not Malibu or wherever she was calling it, Ventura. Oxnard is actually where my grandmother and granddaddy lived on my dad's side. And I went to Oxnard all the time. What's sad about Oxnard is, so my dad and his family, they grew up in Oxnard. And then my grandparents stayed there, but the neighborhood surrounding my grandparents started to get worse and worse. Unfortunately, there were a lot of families moving into homes that had maybe more than one family, and like the neighbors next door to my grandmother had probably 3 families living there, and some might have been involved in potential gang activity. And Oxnard was not what it once was, which really is sad because Oxnard is beautiful. And I hope they're trying to like bring it back or at least kind of save it a little bit because I loved going up there. But I remember when I was more cognizant of my surroundings, like as I became like 12, 13, I remember being like, oh, I don't think I want to walk down the street anymore because this doesn't feel too safe. So, but I think Garcel living in Oxnard, I'm not throwing any shade. I'm just kind of giving you geographically what Oxnard is. Okay. But it's still by the beach and her home. Whoa. I love what she's done with the place. Love it. That fireplace, the double-sided fireplace with the bathtub. Are you kidding me? Well done, Garcel. Well fucking done. Looks great. But okay, they get there, they do their tour around the place, and then they have to have a little scene because you got to have a scene. Otherwise, why are the cameras here? And so Sutton brings up the Dorit thing at the van and or whatever their fight. But Sutton also keeps doing this thing where she is very know-it-all-y about people going through divorces. Anytime anyone goes through a divorce in this group, she's like, I would know what it's like to go through a divorce. It's like, yeah, okay, but you and a lot of other people, all right? Like a lot of people know what it's like to go through divorce. Garcel knows what it's like to go through a divorce. But Sutton has the other shoe's about to drop. And Garcel's like, what does that mean? The PK shoe. Oh, okay. Yeah. Like but this is where Garcel, I feel like she wanted to add a little zhuzh to this scene. She blurts out her theory on the robbery. And I swear she is copy and pasting what Pia and I said whenever was that last year? Was that 2 years ago? 2 years ago. We said we think PK arranged to have the robbery take place so that they could file some insurance claims. But then Dorit was not supposed to be home and was home, and they didn't know what to do. And I kind of stand by that. Also, when PK was like intolerant of Dorit's PTSD, even more so solidified this theory for me. He'll never admit it. He didn't expect that to happen, obviously. So he could be totally upset and legitimately upset and express being sad and scared and all of that. But this is going to be was that the second or even third time they've been robbed? So I just don't trust anything PK does at all. And when he was like, okay, just some of the PTSD stuff feels like, just being dramatic or whatever he said about it. I was like, oh, I don't know. Like, that's just that's pretty shitty. And I think that it has to do with the fact that he knew, like, you weren't really going to die. You weren't really going to get hurt. They were just going to take stuff and go. So I think PK is that shady. I do. I mean, the man had millions of dollars in gambling debt. Millions. I can't even imagine owing $4,000 to a casino. Over $1 million to a casino? Okay. Scary. But he's a little shifty guy to me. Okay, but anyway, we're going to get more into that, more into Sutton in a bit. Let's now go to Erica. She has her therapist over. I think Erica forgot. She already gave us a moment between her and her therapist where she told her therapist she was redecorating in order to get her therapist to say, I totally co-sign this. This will be good for your growth. It's like she forgot that already happened because her therapist walks in and she's like, so I have decided I'm going to redecorate. And the therapist is like, yep, okay. Yeah, we know, but that's okay. But yes, good job. But Erica brings up the trip and Sutton triggering her on the van. And they do a compilation of Sutton getting upset. Erica specifically says Sutton has a habit of getting upset when she feels left out. And then they showed the compilation. I forgot about the Big Bear kicking, you kicked me. Who wasn't on the joke? Raise your hand. I forgot about that. The face roller. That was her face roller phase. I totally forgot. Sutton is, as her own friend Jennifer Tilly says, Sutton is mercurial, which I've heard that word used before, but I didn't never really know what it meant. So I did appreciate the definition of it. But then Erica, though, gets into how Sutton threw this pizza party for Kyle, and I didn't get a pizza party. Now, I feel like this therapist, even though she's most likely being paid to be agreeable on camera, even she was like, yeah, no, I can't let you get away with this one. There's no equating. This is like when Lala was like, oh, everyone was so nice to Ariana, but no one gave me that support. Because mind you, Katie also had the same experience with the audience. We were not like, oh, poor Katie. We were like, Katie, you're so difficult. Sports is so fun. But you don't hear Katie repeatedly talking about how if I had done that, oh, I hate that. One of the qualities, and a lot of content creators do this, if the audience feels a certain way about a certain person on a show doing something, there are certain creators who will be like, oh, but when so-and-so did it on this show, no one had a problem with it. And I'm like, well, no, some people did. Some people had a problem with that. But just because other people were treated different than you, that doesn't really matter for you. Unless it was like carbon copy the exact same scenario and you were treated different, which does happen in life. But in the case of Lala, for example, and Ariana, they're totally different. The case of Erica and Kyle, they're totally different. So it's like this weird victim. It's like it's propaganda they tell themselves to make themselves the victim when they could have just looked at their own behavior. I love when I find a gift for someone that's something they wouldn't get for themselves. A little bit of luxury. And every time they wear it or use it, they think of me and how amazing I am at giving gifts. That is why a lot of my holiday shopping is being done on Quince. Quince lets you treat your loved ones and yourself, to everyday luxury at an affordable price. Something everyone needs in their closet, in my opinion. Quince's iconic Mongolian cashmere sweaters, which start at $50. Or if you want the ultimate year-round gifts, check out their 14-karat gold jewelry. Ooh, they're Italian leather handbags. I have a handbag I'm obsessed with. It's got some gold hardware on it, nice pleating. Oh, to die. They also have European linen sheet sets. Everyone loves good bedding. So whatever you're looking for, all Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. How? They partner directly with top factories, so they cut out the cost of the middleman and they pass those savings right on to us. And before you ask, Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices. And premium fabrics and finishes, because you got to have the luxury in all the pieces. I personally think the Mongolian cashmere zip-up hoodie is a wonderful gift for anyone in your life. Gift luxury this holiday season without the luxury price tag. Go to quince.com/shespeaks for 365-day returns plus free shipping on your order. That's QUINCE.com/shespeaks to get free shipping and 365-day returns. My girls are very particular. There's no real rhyme or reason for why they like something and why they don't. But I know that they love Pretty Litter as much as I do. And here's why. Pretty Litter is lightweight, low dust, and 1 6-pound bag works for up to a month. Pretty Litter is not a clumping formula, but it traps odor and moisture like nothing I've ever seen. And bonus, Pretty Litter changes color to indicate early signs of potential illnesses in my girls, like a urinary tract infection or kidney issues and more. If that wasn't enough, Pretty Litter ships free right to my door, so I never run out. My old kitty litter was so heavy. Every time I had to lift that bag, I had to brace myself, bend at the knees. And it was so dusty. The dust got everywhere. I wanted to put a mask on every time I went in there. Pretty Litter is lightweight, low dust, and the girls love it. Pretty Litter is amazing. You have to try it. Go to prettylitter.com/shespeaks to save 20% on your first order and get a free cat toy. That's prettylitter.com/shespeaks to save 20% on your first order and get a free cat toy. prettylitter.com/shespeaks. Terms and conditions apply. See site for details. Okay, now Kyle's party. Look, Kyle looked hot. I don't care if it was fashion or not fashion, whatever. She looked hot. Her body looks good. She's feeling herself. I give it up. However, Dorit does look kind of safari. I liked it almost. It's like it needed to be more of a cowboy hat because the pants did fit great, but it was giving me a little safari. But Camille's first to arrive, and Camille starts out by talking about how Mauricio is going through a midlife crisis with the young girls, and I don't think she was saying anything that Kyle hasn't thought. Actually, Kyle admits that there were a few things, she says in the after show, there were a few things Mo did that made me think, but I feel like she's trying to maybe not get in trouble with what is said about Mo on camera. So she's like, I think Camille's projecting. Is she? Although Mauricio was just photographed in Aspen on a date kissing a lady. She didn't look absurdly, although it was a really dark photo that TMZ got. They looked cozy. So he's moved on. Anyway, we don't need to talk about that. Garcel gets a tattoo and Sutton's with her. And that's when Garcel tells her about Kyle talking about how PK reaches out. On Watch What Happens Live, Kyle was like trying to totally backpedal this. She's like, okay, hold on. It got blown out of proportion. He doesn't like text me. He's always sent me things. I said he reached out and it was when, the separation happened. And what? Okay. That's not how you presented it to Garcel, to be fair. Like, we're not about to get mad at Garcel for turning it into something it's not because you made it seem like you were like, how about the fact that PK reaches out to me? Huh? How about that? Like, you presented it like it was a thing that one would be surprised by. But then on Watch What Happens Live, she's like, no, like he's always sent funny DMs and messages and stuff like that, but nothing, no. And she says that they haven't talked in a while. I never was concerned that there was anything going on with Kyle and PK at all. It's more like Dorit's not talking to PK. So it's like, I don't talk to PK. He doesn't speak to me, but he's speaking to Kyle. That's where like the knife in the heart is. Because you feel, I'm sure Dorit feels really lonely and left out. So now at the party actually looked great. There was the lighting, the string lights above them made for a gorgeous shot. But it's Bose, Dorit, and Erica talking about things. And Bose goes, oh, should I invite the group over so that we can have a whole tribunal? And then we get a flashback of that Sprinter van. Garcel had actually brought up Bose and Dorit having a conversation at the lunch when they first got to Oceanside. And Bose actually looked kind of annoyed. Bose was like, not everything is meant for the whole group. And again, I think this has to do with some producery thing. Because Bose is too new to understand why this would even be brought up. Like, what are you doing? Because it's pretty normal that if you're in a big group of people, two people are having a conversation and you don't go, oh, hey, hold on, stop. Everyone, are you listening? It's not that abnormal. I think that what they're doing is trying to open it up to the group so that there's a whole camera scene, not necessarily inauthentic, just like that's how you maybe would direct reality television more. But then why aren't the producers doing this? I feel like the producers can be doing this behind the scenes and letting them know, we want to open this up though. You've got to be talking. Why isn't the producer stepping in and going, Erica, what did you say? I don't know. But like, maybe that's why they're having their cast members produce them on camera, because then it's more natural. I don't know. It just feels a little forced. But then, okay, they bring everyone over probably because the producers are like, all right, everyone go on over there. Sutton doesn't even let them have pleasant conversation. She's like, nope, I'm just gonna do it. I hate the clapping. Oh, I hate the clapping. Don't clap in my face. But then she goes, I really meant it when I said our last night in Oceanside. I mean, sisterhood, honesty. And I feel like we're all talking behind each other's backs. And I really just want us to feel like we can be open and honest with one another. Erica goes, all right, you want open and honest? You're volatile. And then they got to Jennifer Tilly's confessional, where she says, I don't think Erica meant it as a compliment, but that is pretty accurate for Sutton. Know thyself. So then this dialogue is just incredible. Sutton, no, I'm truthful. I was just calling something out. And then Dorit comes, sometimes you overreact when you're stressed. And Sutton goes to a 20. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a second. Okay? Dorit's like, please don't raise your voice, Sutton. I'm not in a place where I appreciate that. And Sutton, do you know how many times I have not been in a place where I have appreciated people yelling at me in this group? You know, that's fair. That is fair, for sure. But then I do kind of slightly agree with Erica when Erica kind of says under her breath, well, have you ever thought about why they're yelling? That's not a justification for the yelling. It's just that Sutton is quite, I don't know if brave is the word, but I want to say brave because she will say it. She will say the things that, aren't easy to hear and say them to someone like Erica. So therefore, there's a volatile response. And then she'll be like, oh my God, I can't believe it. It's like, well, you had to imagine that's what was coming when you're telling Erica you don't believe her when she said she didn't know Tom was stealing from people. Like that's going to make Erica freak out. Should Erica have reacted like that? No. Erica was responsible for her own behavior. But, yeah. But then Sutton goes, I will talk in a very soft voice for you. And she makes this little smirky, like, little, oh. And then Dorit goes, just talk normal. Just don't raise your voice. I'm going to talk normal for you. Yeah. And Dorit goes, see, you can't be real and honest, so you can't lead the charge. Sutton goes, Dorit, sometimes you don't listen. And Erica goes, well, that's 10 years. I don't know. That was funny to me. That was like, what do you expect? This one. This lady's not changing. Thank you, Captain Obvious. It's Dorit we're talking about. Duh. But it's funny because it's not necessarily a good thing that she's saying that about Dorit, but Dorit's like, yeah, duh. I don't listen. Hello, I just talk a lot. But then Kyle, thank God, Kyle's like, okay, what is the point you're trying to make, Sutton? What are you trying to do here? My point is we can be honest. Dorit goes, then lead by example. I'm trying, Dorit. Are you? And Dorit just goes, here we go. And then here comes Sutton. Here we go. I'm going to speak in hushed tones. I'm trying to, Dorit. Okay. Mm-hmm. And so then Dorit goes, this is not genuine or kind. And this is not real. And then Sutton goes, this is as real as it gets. Ooh. I cannot right now. What? But then Dorit mocks her and goes, is it really real? And then Erica's like, okay, well now we need you to stop that because now you're going to get in trouble. We don't want to mock her because it's going to, I was okay with it though. I was like, yeah, they should mock each other back and forth. If Sutton's going to mock her, fair. But then Sutton hits her with, listen, you're angry at your life. It's not my fault that you are in the position you're in. Oh, this is not great. Erica goes, don't say things you're going to regret. I'm not. Dorit kind of shocks her here. Dorit goes, you're not wrong. You came to me on the boat. And then Sutton under her breath goes, I rarely am wrong. And that just stops Dorit right in her track. She's like, really? And then she just Sutton shrugs. I am. Okay. So Dorit goes, I'm being honest and open. My life sucks right now. I am not in a good place at all. And I have zero tolerance for more bullshit. I think when they panned around, they could have been using any reaction shot and just putting it here to make it look like that was what they were reacting to. But it seemed like they were all, that kind of resonated with some people. Like even like when they went to Kyle, I felt like Kyle was like, yeah, okay, fair. Not going to put up. Okay. And then Dorit, how's that for transparent? What else? And then Sutton goes, Dorit, I'm not angry with you. It was not about you. It was about all of us needing to be able to talk and be friends afterwards. And then Bose steps in, which let her step in, right? Let her step in. She goes, well, okay, you know what? You can't weaponize moments of vulnerability. Who's weaponizing you just now? You did, for sure. And Bose is starting to continue. She's like, look, if we're all going to be honest, and you know that Camille, she's not getting enough attention. And she's like, I'm sorry, I'm going to butt in. I'm so sorry. But years ago, my house burned down. I'm like, this is how you're opening? What are we talking about here? I lost my house. Okay, do you want this stranger, Bose, who doesn't know you to suddenly be like, oh my God, okay, yeah. I lost my assistant of many, many years. And I didn't get a lot of compassion or empathy especially from Dorit. Camille, you have come in every fucking time trying to start something with Dorit. Okay, what the hell? And it's weird that it does feel like Kyle wanted Camille to do something like this. Because Kyle invited her, and then when it starts to happen, I don't know, if I was witnessing this conversation and Camille interrupted Bose, I don't know if I would be able to stop myself from being like, Camille, let them talk. Let Bose talk. Like, what are you bringing this up for? This was years ago, girl. Years. Like, wasn't this like in season 8? Or maybe it was at 9. I can't remember, but like, what? Maybe 10? No, 8 or 9. The fire, at least. Because, maybe 10 actually, because no, not 10. What I'm remembering is Camille brought it up at the season 10 reunion. The house burning down and the assistant passing away was season 8. Wasn't that Denise's first season? And then season 10, when Camille came back and was just an extra bit of unhinged, she brought it up. She's like, my house burned down. I lost my friend. And she was like, not okay. Or was that the same year? I don't want to be unfair to Camille, but she was a lot that year and has not stopped. I'm like, Kyle, you have really weird taste in people. Teddy, now Camille, like, stop bringing Camille around. Dorit's like, you were a total cunt to me. You know why? And then Camille, you called me a fucking cunt. I called you a stupid cunt. Oh, okay. Okay. Sorry. I love when people correct the insult. Like, yeah, I said it. This is actually what I really said. I love it. Sorry. And Camille does this whole act. Camille has the same kind of, it's almost like the same formula in her performances, if you will. She goes, because Dorit says, you knew it was a joke. I didn't know it at that time, but after, and then she squints her eyes, I found out, but not at the time. Okay, this was a long time ago, though. That stupid cunt moment was a long time ago. And I know Dorit's apologized since then. You can't possibly need this much coddling, Camille, but she does. She's the only one that things have happened to. Erica is trying to stop Dorit, but I'm like, let her go. Let her go. And then Dorit, you always need a moment. Oh, really? The person that takes selfies and makes their friends wait while they do photo shoots? Camille, you can't pull up stuff that you weren't here for. If you're not a part of the cast during the time of which offenses that you're trying to bring up occurred, you can't, it doesn't land. For me, it just feels like you didn't even go here yet or at that time. So this isn't for you to bring up. And like, that's just you not liking things about Dorit, but nothing that she's done to you personally. You've come in. And that's why I think Camille really knows what's happening in the audience, because she's like, no one really seems to like Dorit. So that's an easy one for me to go for. Dorit just goes, what are you doing here? Do you need a moment? Camille's like, oh, you are still condescending. You know, the first day I met you, I did feel bad for you when you came to my house with her. Now, what was this? Erica. My name is Erica. Erica, yeah. Camille, get out. Go. Get out. Go. We can't come in here anymore. All right, girl. We can't. You don't even know the fucking names of these people. Get out. That's how disconnected you are from this group. What are you doing? If you hate Dorit so much you don't want to be around her, then don't. It's that simple. Don't show up to film. How about that? But then after that terrifying moment, I'm like, Erica's going to eat her face. Like, what are you doing? Camille tries this other one, which is also another kind of line from the audience. You're a different person now, Dorit. I don't know what happened to you, but you've changed. You were gone by the time Dorit joined the cast. You clearly are not really good friends with Dorit because you've always just been coming for Dorit, and you seem to only know Dorit through a friend who she was involved with in a lawsuit with. That was how she introduced. She's like, I actually know you through so-and-so, and it was the one that they were in the Beverly Beach lawsuit with, I believe. So it's like, Camille, from what? What do you know her to be? How did she start versus now? Whether or not it's true, it's like you can't really speak to that, but the audience has said stuff like that. And I would have said up until this season, I completely agreed. She's become like a fembot, where it's like, hello, is there a human in there? She was just like an animatron, looking like a Kardashian blow-up doll. But now this season, it's different. She has changed. Kyle has changed too. They've all changed. So this isn't really an insult necessarily. Every single one of them. Being on TV in this capacity over the years will absolutely change you to some degree. But after she said, I don't know what happened to you, but you've changed, Erica goes, Camille, you know what she's going through. I know, and I do feel bad. I went through a lot too, though, Erica. What? That was an insane thing to say. An insane thing to say. And even Garcel's like, we've all gone through a lot. It's not a competition. And still not getting the hint. Camille looks at Dorit, I think, and he's like, hell and back. As if to say, like, I have been through it all. So, okay, what do you want us to do? You're just sitting here. What do you want us to do? Applaud you for the past that you've been through? What the fuck are you doing? God, I can't stand this woman. But then Sutton, I agree with Dorit here. Sutton's like, I meant what I said. I will always be there for you when or if you ever need me. And I'm with Dorit. It felt like it on the boat, and it feels like it again. It doesn't feel like Sutton really wants to be an empathetic friend. She wants to seem like an empathetic friend. And then, because I was like, on the boat, even when she's like, I just want you to know, I'll sit in that room with you. Oh, I was like, really? Why? It's okay. Like, not everyone is going to be close, and that's just, but I do think that Sutton is aware of what the audience is saying right now. And as of now or whatever. Before this podcast got established, I'll just say, I wanted to try to start an e-commerce business, but I quit because I got super overwhelmed. One of the parts that overwhelmed me was shipping. The shipping aspect was so confusing to me and also expensive. I am so serious. If I had known about ShipStation then, I truly think I wouldn't have given up. ShipStation is the fastest, most affordable way to ship products to your customers with discounts up to 89% off UPS, DHL Express, and USPS rates. You can effortlessly scale your business. ShipStation has smart features and automations that will boost efficiency while bringing costs down. And ShipStation seamlessly integrates with services and selling channels you already use. You can manage your orders on one easy dashboard. Scale your e-commerce business with the shipping software that delivers. Switch to ShipStation today. Go to shipstation.com/shespeaks to sign up for your free 60-day trial. That's shipstation.com/shespeaks. In the after show, with regards to Dorit calling Camille a cunt, Erica and Kyle are not on the same page. Kyle has become so buttoned up and proper and like even with the whole like sexuality of it all. It's like I never realized that she was this like conservative and prim and proper, if you will. but the way she was like, she's like, I did not think there was no, it was unnecessary to say that. And Erica's like, hold on. Camille's not innocent. She's the one who made that joke about how Denise's rented house didn't burn down or something like that. Or whatever she said. So Camille's no angel. And Kyle's like, I'm not saying she's an angel. I'm saying it was very unnecessary to call her a CUNT. And even on Watch What Happens Live, 18% of the audience was on Camille's side. The rest was on Dorit's side. And Kyle was still like, I'm sorry, no, the CUNT of it all, I can't. No, I can't. I'm going to be on Camille's side because that was just uncalled for. But don't you see what she's done to your friend over the years? Don't you see how she shows up to film and then picks a fight with Dorit and brings up PK's lawsuits and gambling debts and whatever the hell else? Like, she's had it out for Dorit for years. So let Dorit lose it on her a little bit. Come on. And then when talking about the first time Dorit called her a CUNT, the first time Kyle was like, that just was also very unnecessary. She didn't need to call her that. And then Erica has to step in and be like, oh, come on. That's one of her like classic Dorit moments. Okay, but it doesn't mean it's funny. No, but like, this is why when all of them are like this now, except for Erica and Dorit and Bose. What's happening? Even Garcel and Sutton, everyone is so sensitive on this cast. This is the problem. We need someone, like, imagine if this was Atlanta. Imagine if even Portia was just there. There would be so much more commentary, like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, like laughing. Like, there's no joy in the parts that make it fun because everyone's like eyes wide open, like, oh my God, oh, that's so mean. Oh, like, come on, guys. Why are we worried about Camille? She showed up to pick a fight. Even Jennifer Tilly says it did seem like Camille was gunning for Dorit. And they just ignored that. Garcel and Sutton. They just like don't pay attention to that. It's like, but what's happened? What has happened here? Like, Erica's literally like, it makes me laugh. Sorry. And Dorit does talk about how Kyle bringing Camille or inviting Camille is just, interesting. We're trying to mend fences. And Kyle defends it, saying it's not abnormal for me to invite Camille to an event. I mean, I was also having issues with Dorit. Interesting. So what you're saying, that line right there is, I always invite Camille. And I mean, I was also fighting with Dorit. So like, why would I not invite someone who's probably going to come for her? Okay. Noted. Noted. Oh, and if I couldn't invite people that weren't okay with someone in the group, then I'd never have a party again. Cool. That's not accurate, but cool. No problem. Erica's really giving Dorit a lot of grace and that's smart. Imagine if Erica wasn't, because Erica says, I was a mess. I did everything wrong. I was acting so out of line. And this is interesting too, because this is something that Sutton will continue to do. She's like, how come they're not erratic and they're not volatile? Well, now it's interesting to see Erica, and I hate saying this because I'm not siding with Erica, but here she is acknowledging that her behavior was out of line at that time. So it doesn't prove what Sutton is trying to prove. Because Kyle's like, it's not a good excuse. It's not an excuse at all. No, it's not. But I'm going to give her that grace. Okay. But then when they go over to Sutton with regards to her being volatile, Sutton very much deflects. And this is where I'm like, this is regurgitated dialogue. And she says, of course I can overreact. I'm Southern. And all I know is Erica was very inconsistent with her story with her husband's accident. Okay. Dorit was very overreactive at the table with Kyle and Oceanside. Okay. Erica was very volatile against me at Kathy's caviar dinner. Okay. So the two of them need to calm down and remember who they are before they call me names. They like to call me names. Okay, fine. However, you do also, Sutton, confront people about their behavior, and they're supposed to take it and accept it and process it. How come you won't? You've got your own friend here saying you're mercurial and you're trying to shut her up, but she's like, that is who you are. We still like her, but that's who she is. So how come just because you can deflect and remind people of past mistakes of theirs doesn't mean that you are never able to be held accountable at all? Am I explaining that well? I was a little taken aback. I'm like, why are you bringing all this stuff up? Because they're not, so no one's allowed to say this to you. And then I'm kind of looking at Garcel going, are you going to say it? Because it's worth pointing out to her, you know? And then in the segment about, it's like the one that says Sutton goes low or whatever, Sutton basically says that Bose needed to know her place and stay out of it. And I was like, oh, that's not great. She's like, she doesn't know the history. I'm like, there's no need to know the history, unfortunately, Sutton, because what you did right in front of her in real time was what happened, and she called you out for it. It felt really icky to everybody sitting there. Maybe not your Garcel, but it was like, oh, what? Why are you taking this vulnerable time I'm going through and saying, you're sad about your life. Don't take it out on me. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Anyways. All right. I'm wrapping it up. I believe I talked about enough of the Watch What Happens Live stuff. Kyle was very media trained and careful. The only thing that was not interesting, was the PK explanation and how he doesn't really reach out to her and whatever. I'm like, well, then why did you bring it up the way you did to Garcel? Okay. I would have thought the same thing Garcel did. As soon as she said it to Garcel in that way, I pictured her getting text messages from PK like every other day. That's what I pictured. So that was on you. But then whatever. So I think I got everything. Okay. Sorry, it's been a day trying to get this recorded. Anywho, love you guys so much. Mean it. And I'll see you next time. Bye. Thanks for tuning in to She's Speaking with Emily Hanks. This show is produced, hosted, and edited by me, Emily, and brought to you in partnership with Cloud 10 Media. If you are looking for bonus content, check out the Patreon. The link is in the description. To show some support, you can hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. Another free way to support the pod, please rate and/or review on whatever platform you listen. It's free, and it helps the algorithm or something. You could also head to buymeacoffee.com/shespeaks and buy me a coffee or two. Make sure you're following me on all social medias. I am She's Speaking with Emily Hanks across all platforms: Threads, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. That's it. Thank you guys. See you soon.